An absolutely defining image of the 20th century.
United in freedom, the crowd...
Seeing reporters in clips on the front line reporting was so incredibly exciting, and it was the thing, more than anything else, that got me into journalism.
A wave that we've now become really quite well accustomed to throughout this campaign.
Britain would never be the same again.
And it didn't just happen in London, it spread across the UK.
As ITN marks 70 years of broadcasting, we've taken a look back through the archive at some of the moments that have shaped our world and the way we've told those stories.
My name is Tom Bradby. I'm the anchor of ITV's News at 10.
It was about 8:10 this morning. What looked like a final Marine helicopter touched down here briefly, took aboard a handful of Marines and then lifted off. And that looked like the end of the American evacuation.
I wanted to pick Sandy Gall's report from the last days of the Vietnam War. It's an amazing, amazing piece of reportage. I was a history student at Edinburgh University about 6,000 years ago. The majority, at least, of my last year I spent studying the Vietnam War.
The communist machine gun post is just down off the end of the bridge, and it is keeping the airborne from attacking. So now they've brought in the helicopters.
Seeing reporters in clips on the front line reporting was so incredibly exciting, and it was the thing, more than anything else, that got me into journalism.
This is a historic moment, the arrival of the North Vietnamese regular army in Saigon, right in the middle of Saigon.
All the footage we shot in those final days of Vietnam is quite extraordinary. I'd urge you to watch it all.
The North Vietnamese flag, they are now the new masters.
I'm Kathy Newman, I'm presenter for Channel 4 News.
Mrs. Thatcher out onto the doorstep.
I've picked Margaret Thatcher walking up Downing Street.
A wave that we've now become really quite well accustomed to throughout this campaign.
1979, she's first elected, she sweeps into power, she's in her trademark blue suit.
National interest.
And she's glad-handing all the crowd.
Shaking every hand that she can possibly get hold of. There is great enthusiasm.
Britain would never be the same again, and the Conservative Party would never be the same again. And there, John, my old colleague, is witnessing this huge moment of history.
Now in Downing Street, John Snow.
It's never happened before. There's never been a woman Prime Minister of Britain or of any other Western country.
I think this clip really resonates with me because I've been in Downing Street on those historic mornings. Who we were as a nation, what we've become, and where we're destined to go.
And she's now coming up towards us.
Of course, for a lot of people, she became a very divisive figure.
A few boos at the back.
There's apprehension amongst many.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope.
Well, there she goes. She's going into number 10 as Prime Minister.
Hi, I'm Julie Etchingham and I anchor News at 10. The clip that I've picked is the moment when Sir Trevor MacDonald interviews Nelson Mandela just 3 days after he was released, having been jailed for 27 years.
How are you? Very nice.
An absolutely defining image of the 20th century.
United in freedom, the crowd standing respectfully back.
And Trevor MacDonald was there for ITN. He was there on our behalf.
Can I turn to the question of sanctions? Now, Mrs. Thatcher holds one view. She thinks that her policy towards South Africa has been directly responsible for the kind of situation which enabled President de Klerk to release you. Is she right?
He wasn't overtaken and overcome by the enormity of the moment.
Why be worried, you see, about things, you see, which are irrelevant, which do not work?
So you're telling me she's wrong?
Well, It is for everybody to draw his own conclusion.
That he'd been there in South Africa for that moment when Nelson Mandela was released, that he was working very closely with the production team on the ground. They'd made sure that they were in the right place at the right time. And then Trevor was sort of deployed and got in there at that moment when you can seize that interview before anybody else. The first British television interview just after he'd been released. And ITN had delivered the only interview with Nelson Mandela before he was jailed.
Of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country.
You know, there are a few bigger Trevor McDonald fans than me. And it was one of the great honours and joys of my life to have worked alongside him.
How much time do you think you have before people cry for results?
Well, I am no prophet, but I am certainly an optimist.
A moment in history for our viewers, and I just think it was completely awesome.
Especially with Mr. de Klerk. My optimism has been strengthened, and I approach every problem with optimism.
Hi, I'm Charlene White and I'm the presenter of ITV News and ITV News London. The story I've picked is the London riots of 2011. And the reason why I've picked it is a lot of the riots happened in areas where I grew up and where I lived.
Family and friends of shooting victim Mark Duggan gathered outside Tottenham Police Station on Saturday night.
And it didn't just happen in London, it spread across the UK. Really told the stories of inequality, of police inequalities and the failures of successive governments to help especially young people bring themselves out of poverty and out of deprivation.
To those people who are responsible for this wrongdoing and criminality, you will feel the full force of the law.
I was on the front line in between rioters and riot police, and I was doing a live on the phone.
Our reporter Charlene White is in Lewisham and is on the phone with the details now. Charlene, what's happening there?
Hi, Ben. I mean, they say that
they couldn't get a camera to me in time, so I told the story on my phone.
Trouble up along the high street. Now, the thing about the Lewisham police station is it's just at the other end of the high street.
Streets that I'd walked on my entire life in Lewisham. And I do believe that there are certain stories that can only be told with a certain level of truism if they're told by those for whom those areas are their home.
I'm now currently moving my car away from the scene because they are starting to throw bricks and bottles now.
And so I told that story as a live, and then I had to save my car.
Charlene White in Lewisham, thank you.
Happy 70th birthday, ITN.
Happy birthday, ITN.
Happy 70th birthday to ITN.
And happy 70th birthday, ITN.